Great guy with a good sense of humor, but someone who took his job very seriously. That's how colleagues are describing the U.S. Marshal gunned down yesterday during a shootout with a suspect in South St. Louis. 48-year-old John Perry, another deputy marshal, and a St. Louis police officer were hit. Perry died of his injuries last night. News Channel 5's Mike Rush joins us live from Osage Street, where the shooting happened. Mike?
Mike, the house behind me is still blocked off as the investigation here continues. Perhaps the irony in this is that John Perry dedicated much of his professional career to trying to help the type of people just like the one who is accused of killing him. John Perry was a U.S. Marshal for about 10 years, but before that he served for 16 years as a probation officer for Madison County, Illinois.
He was just one of those guys that you enjoyed being around. He always had a sense of humor about him.
But still took his job seriously, says Major John Lakin. Lakin is a chief deputy sheriff for the Madison County Sheriff's Department now, but in the 80s he was also a probation officer and worked for several years with Perry. When Lakin heard yesterday that 2 U.S. Marshals and a St. Louis police officer were injured during a shootout, he immediately thought Perry was involved.
Because I knew that John what job that he did, and there was a lot of times that he may have been the first guy through the door.
Authorities say Carlos Bowles opened fire on the 3 officers as they were trying to arrest him at his home yesterday morning. Bowles had warrants for assaulting an officer and drug possession. The officers fired back and Bowles was killed. Lakin says Perry was very proud of his service with the U.S. Marshals and before that worked hard to make a difference as a probation officer.
When you look back at the number of people's lives that he touched in a positive way, I think those are things that are an attribute to what John was all about.
Lakin says that John Perry was also all about his family. He was married and leaves behind children as well. As for that second U.S. Marshal who was injured here yesterday, he is considered in fair condition at the hospital and is expected to be there for at least another day. The St. Louis police officer who is assisting in this this attempted arrest, was also injured, but he was treated and released. Reporting live from South St. Louis, Mike Rush, News Channel 5.